Hello everyone, welcome to the video. My name is Cosolix. Today I am teaching you guys how to play Scythe in Brawlhalla. If you're gold, new, maybe platinum, this video is for you. I'm just teaching you guys exactly how to improve at Scythe and get better. Let's start with the basics though, just to make sure everyone's on the same level. We gotta talk about all the attacks on Scythe and their purposes. Okay, first attack I want to talk about is Side Light. If you don't know, Scythe has active input. Here, I'm gonna turn the sounds a bit down. Scythe has active input, so the Side Light has two variations. So I'm just gonna reset the bot here really quick. There's normal Side Light, which pops them upwards. But then if you hold forward, you get that forward side light. Let me actually show you guys by turning on my controller really quick. Okay, as you can see, if you hold forward, they get sent forward. But if you let go, or if you just hold up, they're the same thing, they get sent upwards. The holding forward side light can go into different combos. So for instance, you can hold forward into down light, or if you don't hold forward, you can go into neutral light. I believe you can get this up to like 2 or 1 dodge frame depending on decks. I'm not so familiar with the dodge frames. But that's the same thing with downlight. So downlight, if you let go, it kind of goes back. You can even hold back. Or if you hold forward, kicks them forward. And again, it's different combos, right? That was not very tight. I don't use that combo very often. It's definitely not tight. But yeah, there's definitely some options you can do. But yeah, this is called active input if you don't know the mechanic. So if you're new to Scythe, active input just kind of sends them in directions that you want to send them. Neutral light does not have active input. This is just a setup tool that just kind of sets them up into the air, which then you can go into other moves that do have active input, kind of like neutral air. Let's talk about the aerials. So neutral air, you can send forward like that, or you can send backwards like that. I'm just kind of doing it. You can hit it grounded, but it's like it's very like specific hitboxing. But yeah, that's the forward version, or the back version can go into other combos. I believe you can like D-light. I kind of screwed up the timing. I don't play Scythe that often, but I know how to play Scythe. But yeah, anyways, so that's neutral air. Next is side air. This is the side air. Actually, one of the best siders in the game, in my opinion. I think this is a really, really good sider. Really good for killing, especially off stage. This is a move that you're going to want to use to finish combos very often. And then we've talked about neutral air and side air. Down air is kind of like the opposite of neutral air. You can send them diagonally downwards, or you can chuck them back, and that leads into side air and other combos. 2 more moves. You got the recovery. It's a very good recovery. You can kind of like adjust the movement of it. So see, I'm like holding forward, I get sent forward. If I hold back, you kind of like stop the movement a little bit. See how like I'm holding back a bit. It's something that people don't really think about, but movement in general is very important. So you can definitely like mix it up. It's just good to understand how attacks move your character. And then next, there's also a ground pound. This is a great spiking tool. It also is a true combo follow-up, which we're going to be talking about later. And yeah, it's just a really good spiking tool. The hitboxing is really good. It uses an activator hitbox, so you don't actually have to let go. It will auto let go for you, but I still like to let go. As you can see, when you swing it downwards, there's actually, that was me letting go. There's a little activator hitbox. Do you see that little circle? That's the activator hitbox. When it hits the activator hitbox, it actually initiates the move, which then throws the combo out, or the attack out. So that's all the attacks on Scythe. There's also certain purposes, like this is obviously for spiking. This is for either like continuing strings, or like maybe edge guarding. To win neutral, you have your grounded attacks, or like down airs and whatnot. They all cover different zones, so if you were to like actually draw it out, like take a look at this. So if we're talking about dead zones on Scythe, so Scythe has like side light, which kind of covers here. Scythe has down light, which kind of covers here, and it's the same on both sides. So like down light, side light, this is like the spacing. There's also neutral light, which kind of covers like this. Keep in mind you can even like dash neutral light, so you can like kind of cover like this area, whatever. It's kind of like these circles you can kind of cover and punish. Circle here, circle here. There's nothing directly above it. However, Scythe, like in general, just has some really good options. You can kind of punish anything in different situations. It's one of the most like well-rounded kits. It doesn't also cover this tall. It's to here, but still, it's really good. You can also like jump nair as well. So there's like a lot of other options, but Scythe in general just has very, very, very strong coverage. Not many dead zones whatsoever for you to kind of get in on Scythe. Like playing Scythe Scythe kind of has it all. Scythe struggles more with like killing and also damage buildup if you're not good. Okay, let's talk about some basic tight strings. So you can do things that have like tight follow dodge windows. So like even like D-light side air like this. That's 2 dodge frames right there. I'm not so familiar with the exact dodge windows, so please correct me if I'm wrong in the comments with some of these. But like there's like Enlight Nair, that's like 2 dodge frames. You could probably Enlight Sair, 4 dodge frames. Sair or Dare Nair. There's a lot of these like tight windows, like that's 3 dodge frames. You can kind of get creative with it. There's just so many of them. I really recommend just hopping into training mode. Make sure the bot is set to damage reset and position reset. Put them in the center of the like lobby. You can put them in the center by switching it to bot control mode and then just like position reset, damage reset, and kind of just have fun. I know you don't want to hear that from like a guide video. You want me to teach you the best strings, but really Scythe is such a creative weapon. You can do so much with it. Just kind of practice hitting these combos, see kind of how the flow works. Just have fun with it. That was the first thing I did when I was practicing Scythe, where you just want to like continue these strings and just kind of see what works, especially against players. It's kind of like, I wouldn't say like you're experimenting, but you can even watch some top players, see what they do, and see how does Sandstorm hit these really long strings. As you can see, some are definitely tighter than others. So here's a really good option. I just want to teach you guys. It's a really tight option. So obviously Sidelight goes up to Enlight, but here's the option. This is actually true on like certain attacks and defense. Neutral Light, Neutral Air, Sair, and then you can kind of keep going. So like Nair Sair is actually a true combo on very specific circumstances. As you can see there, I think the Enlight Nair is like 1 dodge frame. Yeah, Enlight Nair is 1 dodge frame, and then Nair Sair is true. So you can actually do this true. It just depends on the character. Let me show you. So I believe you can play Jiro against high defense. So let's go Jiro against, I don't know, like Roland. I think you can get this true. It's very situational. It's not situational. It just really depends. I'm fat fingered there. There, you can see that Nair Sair is true. Just depends on the defense. So this is like a really good damage build-up Scythe tool option, and then you can kind of just keep going with it. You see how crazy that is? That's probably the best option. I see a lot of Scythe players go for this, and you can kind of just keep going. It's just Nair Sair, basically. So it's Enlight, jump, Nair Sair, Nair, jump, Sair, Nair, jump, Sair. Yeah, you might want to do a recovery if you run out of jumps. Don't jump the Nair, whoops. You can kind of just keep going after that. It's just really good damage build up. Especially, it's just a tight option, so if your opponent doesn't have a dodge, then this is really good. If you don't know already, if you're new, dodges in Brawlhalla, you get them back in the air every 3 seconds approximately. So if you see them dodge in the air, you have 3 seconds to hit them with like as many follow-ups as possible. If they touch the ground, they get it back in about 1.5 seconds. So just watch out if they touch the ground. But for instance, like take a look at this. If I set the Roland to spot dodge, right? And then I get this read, and then you can kind of keep going. All of those hits until that last recovery was confirmed. That's how strong Scythe can be if you catch these dodge reads. So just really like keep that in mind. And then you catch another dodge read and you kind of keep going, right? Dodges are everything on Scythe. That is how you improve. It's understanding how you can kind of keep following up. So for instance, if you hit a down light, then they dodge, then you can go for this combo, right? And then they dodge again, you get that other dodge read. This is how Scythe works. You practice these combos that are fun. You see how tight some of them are. Like, let me stop the dodge. Like, I don't know. Their side light, 2 dodge frames, right? That means they probably can't jump out of it. Maybe on frame 1 jump, they're probably not going to jump out of that. So if you catch a dodge, then maybe go for that option, right? And then, right, you hit the side light, then you go for a neutral light, then you hit this, catch another dodge, and then you bring them off stage. You get what I'm saying here. A lot of Scythe is paying attention to dodge reads. So here's how you practice that, okay? In training, do what I did before that I told you guys. Damage reset on, position reset on, but then make the AI dodge randomly. What this will do is it will make you practice reacting to dodges. Instead of reading dodges, reacting is very important. So for instance, if I do a side light, see how they dodge, and then I can kind of do something. Got his dodge back because he touched the ground. So spot dodge there. I'm in a position to react. Dodge again. We're going to string him. Dodge again. I could have kept going. So we end light. Dodge down. I was not ready because I'm bad. Dodge down. I should have went forward there. I was getting ready to D-light. It's going to dodge again. Then we keep going. You kind of like get used to them having dodge. Right? And it's just kind of practice around with dodge, so you know he doesn't have a dodge. Okay, guys, dodge back there. Whoops. It's just literally remembering that timing. It's about 3 seconds in the air, 1.5 seconds if they touch the ground, and just practice your strings. Kind of have fun. You get a dodge, and we're gonna go. He touched the ground there, so he got it back. He touched the ground. Oh, maybe he didn't. There he did. And I caught it with that down there, dodge down. He's gonna have his dodge again. Okay. Dodge again. And you can like dare ground pound and whatnot. You kind of get what I'm saying. There's just so many like ways to string on Scythe that it's like you kind of just have fun with it. You can literally create your own combos. Be creative. It's really fun, this weapon. It's probably the only weapon in the game where I'm not teaching you guys a ton of set combos and strings. You can really be creative. There's like unlimited possibilities with Scythe. You can hit some of the nastiest strings. Obviously, there's a lot of reoccurring ones that you'll see, but you're only gonna like get the practice by just kind of having fun and training and just like play Scythe, just have fun. Now, before I go, I want to say one thing. There are some true combos on Scythe. There's some situational ones beside the edge. I believe you can like recovery side light. It's really weird, or like recovery Sair. But also off stage, you can actually dare ground pound as a true combo. It's a bit hard to set up in training. If you are going to set it up in training, here's kind of how you do it: is you like set the bot to like reset off stage, and then you have to like make sure their damage is kind of like enough, and then you can even like dare into like dare and stuff like that. It's like, yeah, there's a lot of options you can do off stage. A lot of it just comes from like practice. See, that wasn't true because I kind of fat fingered the input, but it can be maybe a bit later in health. Actually, it's a bit of a tough input. I remember the first time doing it, it took me a little bit. Like, okay, so that's the right damage, so that's 5. Again, you get a feel for this over time. This is why I'm not telling you guys to just practice these true combos, because they're pretty situational, a lot of them, and it's not going to be how you improve on Scythe. How you improve on Scythe is just practicing dodge reads and just practicing neutral. Just understanding how dodges work in the game. Like, that's 4 dodge frames. You can get this true. I'm just kind of bad right now. I also, like, I don't play Scythe professionally, but I can play at a top level. But yeah, it's just kind of just having fun, seeing what works, create your own combos. And I'm going to link down below a combos video. It's telling you every Scythe true combo. Some video I recommend. I don't know which one yet, but I'll make sure it's good. If you want to learn these specific true combos, check that video out. If you like this, subscribe, do your thing. I'm actually going to play one game with Scythe. You guys are just going to see like a couple clips just to show you what I'm talking about. I'll play an experimental. A lot of Scythe is just winning neutral. And then what I talked about, like learning how the dodge system works and going for fun, creative combos. See, I took a dodge there, and then I'm going to confirm them off stage, so keep him off. He has his dodge, and I just keep him off stage. See what I mean? It's just like watching out for dodges, and it's just practicing your attacks. I didn't even need any true combos there, nothing. See? That dare Sair is a really good option if you just catch a dodge. Oh, almost. There we go. I got that dare ground pound. I thought that was me. It's cause versus cause. I'm the Artemis, guys, I promise. No spot dodge. No dodge. Oh, I jumped there. I thought I was going to hit, and they're dead. No way, they just disconnected. That's how you make people disconnect with Scythe, everyone. Thanks for watching. Obviously, true combos help, especially if you're trying to go pro. But if you want to play Scythe, just do what I said. Thanks for watching this video. I'll see you guys later. Peace.